Good afternoon. Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Alicia Webster-Thomas. And first of all, I want to thank everyone in the Chrysalis community for giving me this opportunity to give my testimony. Really want to thank Angel Charmaine because she's been my rock for a long time. We go way back to college, and she has really helped me through a lot of tough times in my life. And she presented me with this opportunity to tell my testimony because I really kind of wanted to jump on it because it's time that I use the gift that God has given me or the testimony that God has given me to help other women and other people make it through some of the tough times in their life. My topic today is real simple. You are who God says you are. I'm coming from the aspect of so many times we as women or people in general get caught up on what we are not able to do or what we can and cannot do, or we don't think we're good enough, or we think, oh, I don't have enough education, or I'm from a little country town, I don't speak well. It's just I can't do that because I'm not rich, or I don't have these qualities of this thing that we want to do. But God is telling me and has told me over my entire life that, Alicia, if I tell you to do something, or if I call you to do something, then you have the equipment to do it, regardless of what you have gone through. And I want to use as a background Galatians. If you look in your Bible, I'm just going to paraphrase it. I'm not going to read it. In Galatians 4, 6, and 7, it basically tells us that we are the sons or daughters of God, that we are joint heirs with Christ, and that everything that God has given Christ, he has given us because we are a part of the family now because of Jesus Christ, that I am a daughter of God. And so all the inheritance that is given to God, that is given to Christ, is given to me as well. So I'm a son of God. And so with that being said, if I am the son of God, then all those promises that he promised Jesus and promised, they're for me too. And so it doesn't matter where you come from or what happened in your past or the mistakes you made or the things that you did wrong. It doesn't matter anymore. Now that you have given your life to Christ and have turned yourself over to him, then you're no longer yourself. You're God's anyway. And so all those promises that he has given to Christ, they're yours too. And I want to go to Philippians 1 and 6, where he says that, he started the work that he started in you, he's going to complete it. If he started something in you, if God put this in you, say, Alicia, you're going to preach the word. Alicia, I want you to open up a daycare for kids with special needs. Hey, Alicia, I want you to be, this is what I want you to do. Then Alicia, I have already equipped you with it. I will complete the work. I started this work, not you, Alicia. God, started this work, and I'm going to complete it. He is the Alpha, the beginning, and he's also the end. So if he started it, he's going to complete it. And I know many times we get caught up, oh my goodness, I can't do this. In my case, my health is keeping me from doing this. I come up with, I'm a mother, so many excuses, but we can't use excuses anymore once we're in Christ, once we are joint heirs with him. And so, for example, I like to use some of the examples, like he told Abraham, you're going to be a father of many nations. Here it is. Abraham got up to be 100 years old. His wife was 99, and they still haven't had kids yet. He's like, where's this nation that you say I'm going to have? but it turns out he ended up being a father of many nations, the father of Isaac, Abraham, of Isaac and Jacob and millions more. Yeah, I mean, he said it and it came to pass. It may not look like it, it may not feel like it, but it came to pass. You can look at it throughout the Bible. You got Moses. He sent Moses to go get his people from Egypt, but Moses said, I can't talk, I have a stutter. How am I supposed to talk to the king of Egypt and I stutter? But he sent Moses, and Moses went, and he said, I'm going to be with you. He said, I am that I am. Tell them that I am. And he went, and he told them about that he's here in the name of the God of Isaac, Abraham, and Jacob, and that you're supposed to come out of Egypt. He did that thing. Even though he was a stutterer. You got Solomon, who was a womanizer. He had so many concubines and wives, but he was known as one of the wisest, richest men to ever live. And you can look at so many. Peter was a cusser. He would cuss. He was a violent man. He cut people's ears off, but he used Peter to build his church. Paul was a murderer of the Jews. And he used Paul to change the whole trajectory of the church, because Paul thought he was doing things in the name of God. But once he saw Jesus on the road to Damascus, it changed his whole perception. He was no longer the murderer, but he was now one of the greatest apostles that ever lived. And I know so many times we get caught up, like me in my case. I'm going to use my testimony. Little country girl from Milledgeville, Georgia. Mother didn't graduate from high school. Dad didn't even go to middle school. Living in a little country town, don't know any better about anything. But God showed me throughout my whole life, even starting as a kid, winning competitions, spelling bees, winning art contests in elementary school, and in middle school, becoming the captain of the cheerleading squad. In high school, going to London, getting scholarships. Me, the child none of the parents have a high school diploma. Nobody in her family had ever been to college. Here it is, my senior year in high school, got a scholarship to go to Georgia Southern and got a Hope Scholarship. And I was the first one in my family to go to a 4-year university and actually graduate. He used a little country girl who was picked on, who had a little snotty nose because of all her allergies. Everybody picked on her because of her allergies, and showed her that I got you. My hands have been on you since the beginning. And I went to college, broke the generational curse in my family. Every child after me has gone to college or gone to a technical school and are doing wonderful things because I chose to listen to God and allow him to do what he wanted to do in my life. And I became a special education teacher. And I did that because so many of these students that you teach with special education, they think, I'm never gonna amount to anything because I can't read, or I have ADHD, or I have, whatever the issues society says that you have. And they think they'll never, become anything more than just, somebody that works on the railroad or something like that. But I want to give this specific one. There's this little girl who came to me her freshman year in school. And I could tell she was smart as a whip. She just had some issues, with reading and comprehending. Well, I gave her tests and I worked with her, and I told her, I want you to go to do dual enrollment. And I know if you know anything about dual enrollment, that's when you go to high school along with a extra class at another school, or usually a technical school. And she was like, Miss Thomas, I'm not smart enough to do that. I'm like, yes, baby, you are. We're going to do this. That young lady finally got the courage enough. She took the program, went to the dual enrollment at the technical school, got her an associate. She ended up graduating from high school with an associate in early childhood. And she was so excited and could not believe. She said, Miss Thomas, you believed in me, which made me believe in myself. And therefore, now this young lady is working in a daycare, has her own classroom. She has a car, she's living, she's married. She invited me to her wedding. I went to her wedding. She is blossoming, and she treated me like, oh, Miss Thomas, thank you for changing my life, showing me that I'm not what the world says I am. And that's what my point here today. You are who God says you are. No, Moses could not, talk. He stuttered. Yes, Abraham was 100 years old. Mary Magdalene was getting stoned for being, an adulterer, cheating. They were getting ready to stone her, and Jesus was like, "No, why do this? Let who is without sin cast the first stone." And that lady, I think about this all the time. Mary Magdalene was the first one Jesus revealed himself to after he died. She was the first one. He loved her. This woman who was about to be killed, stoned, was the first one that he allowed to see him after he died. That just goes to show God says once he has his hands on you and says, this is who you are, then that is who you are. And it seems hard. And sometimes we go through so much and so many issues. And your biggest enemy to me is in your head. When you think about where you came from and what you can and cannot do, you start to doubt yourself, and you start getting to a point, well, I'm not going to do that, and you give up. But I'm telling you here today, don't give up. Think about the fact that it's not even in your might, it's not in your power anyway. It's in God's power, and what he says goes. He's this strategic chess player. And he's moving these pieces. And once he moves these pieces, he knows exactly where checkmate is. And at that point, there's no stopping you. You can't stop once he has begun this work. There's no stopping it. So you might as well humble yourself, accept what's going on, whether it's a trial or tribulation. Know that he's working it out for your good, and that in the end, it's gonna be for his glory anyway. It's not about you anyway. It's for someone else to see, oh, if Alicia, who was picked on, grew up poor, living in a house with no running water and no bathroom, lived like that, can surely come out of the mud and miry clay, then I can do it too, because God is on my side. It's not in my power and not in my might, but it's in his power. And I love him for that. I love him for reminding me all the time that he's a keeper, and he's going to keep me no matter, even if I don't want to be kept. Sometimes we want to give up, let go, and be like, you know what, God, I'm tired. I don't want to do this no more. He always whispers, I got you. I got you. And that whisper keeps me going from one moment. Sometimes we have to live from moment to moment. People say, oh, just take it day by day. Sometimes you have to live from moment to moment, because you never know what's going to happen. I have been through some of the hardest times, and this is just a small bit of my testimony. I mean, I've been through divorce. I'm in renal failure with my health, but it's okay. I'm raising 2 kids by myself, one with a disability. But it's okay, because I know that God's got my back, and he has had it from the very beginning. Even before I wanted him to, even before I knew him, he had my back. He had his hands on me, and he has his hands on you too. Just hold on. Know that in the end, it's going to be all right, and he's going to get all the glory. It's going to be, he said, the reason Angel wanted to do this, Angel Charmaine wanted to do this, to provide hope and healing. It is because he's gonna give it to you. He is a hope. He is the healing. And as you just hold on to it, he's gonna bring you through, like he brings us through every day. He never said it was gonna be easy, but he said he was gonna be there, and he has been there. So that's really my testimony. We've overcome by the words, by the blood of the Lamb. So you got to know him, and by the words of our testimony. And that's a tiny bit of some of the stuff God has done for me in my life. So take that little seed, put it in your heart and allow it to grow into a mighty, mighty, mighty tree to help you get through your own personal trials and tribulations. Thank you very much, Angel, again, in the Chrysalis community, for allowing me to testify about the greatness God has done in my life. Thank you.